What's up, guys? Got the new Segway F3. So Segway actually reached out to me and asked me if I wanted to test a scooter. Obviously I did. I have a number of Segway scooters. I recently reviewed the Ninebot Max G3 and I've purchased lots and lots of Segway scooters throughout the years. So I was definitely very excited to be testing this one. And so this one I'm going to do my full-on test like I normally do. So I'll take it up the hill, I'll do the acceleration test, descents, all that stuff like I normally do. And if you guys want, let me know in the comment sections below if you guys want me to do a full range test on this one as well on sport mode. All right. So we got the user manual with some info in here, and then we got important information with some info in here basically. Got some Allen wrenches, screws for the handlebar, and we got the charger right here. It is 100 to 240 volts, output is 70 watts, and that's what the plug itself looks like. Right off the bat, this looks a lot like the Max G3. It looks like their new signature look, and it looks awesome. I love the way the Max G3 looks. This also looks really awesome. I kind of see this as the younger brother. Not quite as fast, not quite as powerful as the Max G3, but cost less, which is always a good thing, or almost always a good thing. So we have the 10-inch self-sealing tires. We got the light in the back. F3 inscription right there, front and back suspension, so full suspension. The back suspension is elastomer, the front suspension is hydraulic right here. We got front disc brakes. The back disc brake is the electronic one that you control within the app. This is where you plug in to charge it, very similar to the other Segways, recent ones. And then the controls, everything is very similar to the Max. We got this nice light bar, we got the regular light, we got the signal indicators and everything. Just an overall great looking scooter. For the controls, we have our front disc brake. If you tap the power button, it takes a couple seconds for it to turn on. You can even set up a code on it that you would need to punch in a code for it to turn on within the app. I'll show you guys that momentarily. So if you tap this same power button, which is also the light button, it'll turn on the lights. You tap it again, it'll go to auto headlights. You tap it again, it'll turn off. These lights are very nice and bright. We got the signal indicators that are super bright, and the brake lights also go a little brighter. If you want to switch between the modes, you hit the little M button, it goes to the walk mode. Now in walk mode, if you hit the throttle, be careful because it'll go, and by default, I actually changed this in the app, these other ones will go as well, but I put the other ones for kickstart. So, and I'll show you guys that as well. And then you have the cruise control right here. You got to hold that for a couple seconds when you're ready. And then you have the signal indicators nice and bright. And then you have a custom button, which I set for emergency flashers, but you can change that to park mode, and there's a few other options in there within the app you can customize. You have your bell. Again, you have your throttle. You can also twist throttle or the thumb throttle, however you want to use it. And if you want to put a phone mount, you can remove this or basically remove this as well and place it there. Otherwise, you could just leave this stuff in place. So this is the app. It's the same app for my other Segway scooters. You just click add device, just like my other scooters. It's here. You could look at your dashboard. You could power it off. You could power it on directly from here. I could literally click that and it'll power off and slide it to power on. Now I put a locking function on this, and the way you would do that is you would enable this, you go to code lock. You can also do an air lock, but I like the pattern more. And I selected the pattern, I clicked next, and then this is the code that I put in. And if you guys grew up in the 80s or 90s, you guys would probably know what that is. I would assume if you played Nintendo, you probably know what that is. And then it asks you to confirm, so I'm like, okay, confirm the code. And then there it is. And so every time I turn it on, I would need to enter that code. Abnormality alert, which is kind of like your alarm. Auto power off 5 minutes. Traction control if you want that, park on slope. And then you do the speed mode if you want to basically jump around. So if you don't want to see D, you could disable that. And if you're switching modes, you won't see D anymore. So you see the little D up there, but it won't actually, it goes straight from eco to sport. So you could do that if you want. I just leave it on. And then you could customize the speed modes. Sport is set to 19 as the maximum. Energy recovery, this is the back brake essentially. I have it on standard. By default it was on weak. And then you could change your sound effects if you want to. And then your custom button. This is the one where you can actually control. So you can put in park mode, automatic hill hold, walk mode, emergency flashers, which I have it on. This is the button, obviously, and the energy recovery level. So, and then you could do your lighting if you want to change some options for that. Charging limit. I recommend, and I guess they recommend it as well. Segway recommends it as well. Is if you want your battery to last for a while, you want to set it to 80% as the top charge. But for the range test and for a few of the tests, I will charge it up to 100. And then dashboard settings and like a few other things, and imperial and metric. If you want the metric system, kilometers and stuff, you could do that, and that's pretty much it. So to fold the scooter is pretty straightforward. Just like the 9 Max G3, you pull this up, you push this down, and then there's a little safety mechanism, so it won't let you push this down unless you're holding this. While you're holding this, then it'll come down, and then there's a little thing right here you open up, and this attaches directly into the deck. I like that it's built in, basically, and yeah, it's for a scooter. I mean, it's not like it's like lightweight, but for a scooter, it's definitely on the lighter side. It's fairly easy to lift. For being a scooter. So I can even lift this with my left, just for frame of reference. Yeah, so there it is. And then you open this up, close this in. So super easy to fold and unfold. All right, we're starting our first real hill. Something that makes lots of scooters struggle. Let's see how well this one does. So hitting it at 20 miles an hour. Let's see what happens. Wow, still going 20 miles an hour. Okay, starting to slow down. 18. 17, still going strong. 16. 15. Still going strong though. It is slowing down. 14. 12. We're almost done. Alright, starting to speed back up. Yeah, no zigzag, nothing. Took me up pretty easily, and I'm right around 200 pounds. I have my backpack on and everything, so let's just say around 205 pounds, which is around 92, 93 kilos. Okay, there's no boost mode on this, so 3, 2, 1, let's go. And max speed right there, 20 miles an hour. Alright, it's not too bad. It is a little slippery though, just like the Max. The ZT3 Pro is where it's at. Look at that. Going full speed at 20 miles an hour on these bumps, and it's smooth sailing. There it is. Suspension feels great. So let's summarize this scooter while we go on this downhill. We'll see how fast we can actually get it to go. So overall, and by the way, this is the hill that I climb. So you can see it's like a decently long hill with some decent incline, basically, where I'm going down right now. So at 21 was the fastest that I saw. There is a little bit of wind coming my direction, but overall the scooter, it feels great. I mean, it costs less than the Max G3, definitely less powerful than that, but still has some decent power for me to go up the hills. Me weighing a little over 200 pounds with the backpack, let's say 205 or so, with what is that, like 92, 93 kilograms basically, and it taking me up. It gets to 20 miles an hour pretty easily. The scooter itself feels pretty smooth. The suspension definitely helps with the impacts. So do the pneumatic tires. I mean, overall, I think it's a great scooter. Well, we'll do another break right now. So let's slow down. So it's not like the strongest brakes in the world, but it's a linear feel and it has decent stopping power. Again, because it's only the front disc brake. And you do have to be careful. So I always lean back when I brake, because if you don't lean back, it's probably not going to be good. So, but again, got me to 20. We'll do another brake test just for fun. So, I mean, it still stops pretty well. One more brake test. There it is, guys. And this test wouldn't be complete without me going for a little shopping trip, buying a couple things for some breakfast. All right, guys. Thank you guys for watching. Catch you guys in the next one.